Welcome back, everybody, to AVT JC, Absolute Victory Through Jesus Christ. Just want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. The scripture I want to share with you tonight is from 2 Corinthians 10, verse 5. It says, "Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ." Now, what's really interesting about this scripture is that when it talks about bringing every thought into captivity, the thoughts that are giving us problems, that make us depressed or not feel well, these thoughts, bringing them into captivity to the obedience of Christ. Now, it's not talking about my obedience. If you look at the word "of" there, it's talking about the character of the individual or the main subject, which is Christ here. So his obedience. So the obedience of Christ, not how am I going to match up to Christ, but no, I am supposed to take these thoughts and give them to him because he's the obedient one. So, just with the time of season that we're in right now, you think about New Year's Eve and you think about all these New Year's resolutions that we make. Well, it's almost like we're trying to purge ourselves of, let's say 2017 and all of the bad habits and things that made us feel bad this year. And we're going to purge ourselves. So we make New Year's resolutions that we're going to change certain aspects of our lives for the new year, and the only problem is 99% of the time we fail, get depressed about that, or whatever the case may be, depending on how serious you are about the whole scenario to begin with. So it's almost like we're making a sin offering to God with these New Year's resolutions. Lord, I really messed up this last year, and I'm gonna do this to make things better between you and me. Well, if we go back to 2 Corinthians 10 verse 5, the one that I just read, it's not about my obedience, it's about his. It's not about my ability, it's about his ability. It's no longer I that live, but Christ that lives in me. And, talk about rejoicing. Talk about the fact that it doesn't depend upon my goodness anymore, but it depends on the goodness of Christ and what he has done. So that's the great thing about it. And, in the Old Testament, when they were doing the sacrifices, the high priest, you would have to bring your lamb to the high priest, and what would happen was that I would bring my lamb to the high priest and I'd lay my hands on the lamb, and that's how they would transfer their sin or their transgressions onto the sheep, and then the lamb or the sheep was sacrificed. And that's what Christ did for us. It was supposed to be a lamb without spot or blemish, which represents Christ because he was perfect. So we have transferred our sin to Christ, so it's no longer what I do or my capabilities, it's the obedience of Christ. So I just want to leave you with that word. It's something to rejoice about. It's something to be thankful about, that Christ has took it all. And like I said, this time of year, let's be thankful. Thank God for your Son, Jesus Christ. And thank you for tuning in. And don't eat too much turkey. God bless you guys. Have a great, great Thanksgiving. And we'll see you soon.